Hey everyone, this is Adrian here with another Avo release for you. So we've got such a big freaking release, so many new contributors. So let's just dive in. We'll take it bottom up as usual. So a lot of contributors, a few new ones. So Jakob, thank you so much. Nejdet, thank you for the translations, and Dennis. As always, Louis, we appreciate all your help, and Paul has been working wonders for this release to be even more amazing. Coolio. So bottom up, a couple of refactors. We moved a few things in the initializer to make it look a little bit more tidy. A few linting tweaks and minor tab improvements. Let's check these out. So for the tabs, we updated the UI a little bit, so the pills will look, they have this white background and a few more tweaks to just make them pop out a little more, and fixed a few bugs like the height would be stuck if you change the tab. So it's just a better experience all around. For the maintenance, again, some linting. Dennis fixed a typo on our README. We made some changes to our CI pipeline. So we transformed some system tests to feature tests, and we separated them. So now we run separate jobs for system and feature tests. So now we have more here. So if one fails, the others don't fail, and so on. So it's just the testing is being done faster. We updated Turbo to 7.2, so that's been amazing. And let's get to the bug fixes. Fix recursive resources broken. So Ian pointed this out. So if you had like recursive resources, like grandpa, dad, and so on, you couldn't navigate from a parent to a child. There was a bug somewhere in Avo, but that's fixed. Datetime broken on back action. So whenever you would go on the index page, you'd see a date or datetime field, and then you would go to a show view and then come back, you would see this invalid datetime issue. So that has been fixed. Ensure parent resource was being passed down to grid items control. Again, Louis, thank you so much. So whenever you were in this scenario, so we have a user and we have many posts. Of course, this one doesn't have it, but let's go and find another one. Where is it? Posts. Yeah, so these links wouldn't have the proper via resource params here. So we couldn't make the best experience for this breadcrumbs and other links. So that has been fixed. Recursive resources duplicated in hydration, same thing. It's tied to what Yin reported. So now that has been fixed. So again, for recursive resources are better handled. Norwegian translations, thank you so much. For this proper Turkish translation, we just fixed the language tag in the new Turkish translation. Add HTML attributes to grid items. So this was from Yin, again, an issue where they had this white image inside their grid items, grid cover field, but you can't figure out what kind of image it's there because it was white on white. So we enabled the ability to go, let's see, post resource. Let me close this one. So on the grid item, you can now add HTML, and you can say index and then wrapper, and you can add CSS classes and styles just as you can on regular fields. So that has been fixed. And now you can force the cover field to be with a pink background, and then the white images will show up. Perfect. Multiple resources per model breaks the sidebar. So this has been brought in by somebody else. Yep, Kaffenbacher, thank you. So what happens is if you have two resources for the same model, let's say projects and maybe advanced projects or whatever, on the sidebar, they would just appear like with the same name, like projects and projects. So now that's fixed. You'll have the proper resource name displayed on the sidebar. Prevent filter buttons from overlapping. So this was a UI issue. Let's see. Yep. Whenever you would open up a filters drop down, and if you have like another resource index section below, you'd have like this Z index issue. So that has been fixed. Dangerous send method. So we ran Brakeman on Avo, and we had a few places where we were using the send method. Let me see if I can find one. So we'd use the send method with the params. So we were dynamically, or maybe dynamically safe constantizing a param that would come through the request, and now we are properly figuring out if that param is actual safe or not. So this is a nice security improvement. Disable icon on disabled actions. Yeah, so this is a bug. I'll just show you on Avo demo. Whenever you have an action that is disabled, when you click on it, nothing happens. I'm clicking, but if you click on the icon, it will just run. So this was a bug, and now that is fixed. Thank you, Paul, for that. Let's get back. Sorry, let's do it. Releases. Come on. Perfect. Belongs to a link inside tabs. So this was something reported by, I can't remember who reported. Nicholas, thank you. So what happens is if you have a belongs to inside a tab, because that tab, let me show you, comment resource. So I'll uncomment these and move these inside. And let's find some comments. Perfect. So because the tabs are actually turbo frames, whenever you would click a link, it would not get you there because it's inside the turbo frame, and it would look for this turbo frame. And of course, the new page would not have that turbo frame because it's just a regular page. And now we added a proper data turbo frame top tag to all links, all belongs to show fields for those fields that are inside tabs. So now when you click it, it will just navigate as you would expect it to. Coolio. Via resource class returns model classes versus resource classes. Yep. So I'll show you this on Avo demo again. So whenever you would have something like, let me see if we get this. Posts, no, not posts, maybe comments. Okay, teams, perfect. So whenever you click on a team, you get this via resource class. We do that, we send the resource class through, so we know which is the parent resource that sent the initial request, right? So it's coming from a user with ID of 50. If I go back, this is the user with ID of 50, right? But the issue is here that we're not actually sending the resource class, we're sending the model class. And this has a few issues, especially when you have multiple resources mapped to one model. This resource that is displayed here would just be the first one in alphabetical order, and that might not be the right one. And now what we did was, let me just show you, teams, people maybe, okay, posts, I know I have that one. So now we are actually sending the resource class. So before you'd get something like this, like resource class equals user, which is wrong, but now you get user resource, and now the actual user resource is being used to display this user. So it's fixing a lot of issues. It's fixing issues around the breadcrumbs, the links, and other things as well. So this is perfect. I think Louis nudged us to fix it. So thank you. So thank you for that. A change belongs to target. Yeah, this is a bug fix for this PR. So nothing to show you there. Custom policies. So Louis, thank you for this. What happens is they are using multiple resources for a model, and the issue was they needed different authorization policies for different resources. So what happened was, in like if you have like a photo resource or a photo comment, if the model class is it's a comment, the policy would be figured out by this model. So you have like a comment policy, but maybe you want a different policy for this resource. So you have photo comment policy, you can add it using this option right here. So thank you, Louis, for this PR. Add Turkish support. Thank you so much, Nejdet. Make it possible to customize the placeholder image. Thank you, Ian, for that. So what happens is, let me go to posts and see if I have some posts. Perfect. Yeah, so these posts right here are displayed in a grid, and they don't have any images assigned to them like these ones. So you'll get this placeholder image. But if we go inside the initializer, now in the branding section, we get this placeholder tag, and you can say something else like bell.svg, and that would be displayed there. If we refresh the page, perfect. You can use images or SVGs. Yep. So this is a better experience all around. Expose native field components to the public. Well, this is a cool one. I'm very excited about it. So what happens is, I have to link for the docs here as well. So now, whenever you want to use, so I'll go to the fish resource. Cool. So whenever you're using the resource DSL, you use this signature like field, and you give it the name of the field, and then as, and give it the type of the field, and then you give it some options like required, or only on, or read only, or make it computable, or field visibility, or whatever, all of those options. Well, what happened was, whenever you wanted to use like a custom tool or resource tool, I'm just gonna go into a fish and just pick a fish. Some of you wanted to use like custom fields inside this resource, so you can essentially pass in values to this form, that some other values that are not present in this DSL. So we made that available a few releases ago, so you could actually do this, but the issue was that these fields were not properly styled. They wouldn't look like these ones, right? So now, if I go into fish resource, fish information, we made that, we extracted that API. So now you can see something like avo edit field, and it's similar to the field declaration that you used here in the DSL. So avo edit field, and you say like the name of that field, and then the type, like text. You give it a form. So if you have a form present, like we do here, we give it a form, and then we can say, so we can say, give it all the other options that you would usually give over here. So it's very powerful. So all of the options that you are used to for the fields, now you'll be able to use them inside like custom tools or custom resource tools and so on. So basically you can set like required, you can set them to stacked or compact, and that will change the styling there. We have most of these, so all of these are mapped inside our docs. Custom, let's see, or maybe native. Actually, let me show you on the sidebar. So it's down here and in the native field components, right? So you have all of these options mapped. You can find them over here, and everything is explained for you. You also get the field wrappers. This is a new documentation page where it explains what the field wrappers are and what the options are, what every option does, right? For the show, the edit, and the index view. So please check them out. So basically what this feature does, it allows you to build custom forms using the DSL that you're already used to from the resource class, right? So all of those nice things that you already have, but now you can do them in custom fields, and they will all just look the same, right? So as you can see, like this name looks similar to this field and so on. So we hope you like this. I'm very excited about it. You can use this for edit. So let me show you another form. So this is the cities, another resource. So a city has a few fields, right? You can see there are different fields, like this is text, this is number, boolean, key value, and so on. And now when I hit edit, this page is actually not the regular edit page from this DSL. I'm going to show you that resource, city resource. Okay, so you'll see all of those fields that you just saw are actually hidden on forms. So you're not, what you're seeing here is actually the city editor. So this is a custom, like regular Rails, like view component, Rails code with the Avo edit field API. And this form, you can barely like figure out that this is not the regular Avo form. So it just looks the same. So it gives you all that power to build the experience that you want. So you can build like edit fields, or you can do show fields as well. So this would be a show field for the image URL. And this is how it looks like image URL as external image. You can pass it a form if you want to, and you can give it a model, and you can like extract things from here. Model like external image or whatever, cover, photo, or whatever kind of property you want from that model. And you can even compute things inside this field. So they're not only for edit views, but you can do like show as well, right? Like this one, like status show field. So you just pass it the form, and it will take the value from that form. So again, I'm very excited about this. I cannot wait to see what you're going to build with it. So you can build things like custom tools, like totally custom views, or you can add them to your edit views for your resources. So you can further customize this. So you can make them like maybe nested fields or whatever. Again, super cool. I cannot wait to see them. You have all the documentation on our docs website. Go check them out. And last but not least, resource sidebar. Thank you, Paul, for this. Yep. So I have a different video on this, but what's happening is we're adding a new section. Let me go see a user. So we're adding a new section here. So whenever you have things like, see like this resource, like here, you have fields like users required, like status, that are wasting a lot of like horizontal space, and they don't use a lot of horizontal space. So you can move those fields inside a sidebar. So now we have like is active on the right, and birthday and writer and so on. So these are more compact on the right side, and yeah, it just brings the whole interface together. It's less wasted space, and you can do things more. You can do things better, right? So again, I have a different video on this. Go check it out. I'm not sure if you've seen the latest issue of Short Ruby newsletter. It's quite nice. You have some. Let me read it first. You have some clarifications on DOM ID over here. What else? Greg Navis shared this code sample about making active models as read-only. So this is all so nice, because there are so many things that are happening on Twitter, and people are posting these amazing tips, but they just like pass by you, and Short Ruby newsletter just brings it all together. So go check it out. This issue is quite amazing. One other thing I'd love to show you, not sure if you know about this channel. So SuperRails, like my friend Yaroslav has posted 2 new videos about RMagic and active storage. So he just plays around with like new things and new technologies, and I think you want to see this if you're doing any kind of image manipulation. So go check him out, SuperRails, follow the channel, subscribe. You won't be disappointed. Coming back to Avo, we have, I think, we have one breaking change. So if you have, because we added those native field components, we exposed them to the public, we have made a few changes about the internals. This, if you make these changes, it will just help you and help us in the long run. You should do this change just just this once. So again, go read the upgrade guide from our documentation page, and it'll say like from 2.16 to 2.17, and it will tell you all you have to do. So basically you just have to update the field declarations, and instead of passing all of these, you just pass it like the field wrapper tags with double star, and it will just pass the proper options to that field. So this will help you in the long run as well. Next, what are we working on next? So we have a few PRs open from the community. What I have here, so this is a tiny one from Eric. Fail action and keep model open. So this was an issue when if you have an action and you have a validation error here, the action would just fail and close, and we're trying to fix that and make that a better experience. Filter visibility, so you'll be able to conditionally display or hide the filters. What else? This is something that we've been struggling with for a while, so, and we're working with the guys at Zeitwerk. Thank you, Xavier and Jean, for helping us with this. So what happens is we have a place in our app where we call eager load in order to get all of the descendants from base resource, so we can figure out all of the comments or all of the resources that are available to Avo. And when we run this eager load, it's actually loading the whole application, and when you're using it in development, it does that more than once, and it's slowing it down. So we're trying to figure out a way of not doing that so intrusive. So this is another one that we're actively working on. What else? Again, with Desmond, we're working on bringing active policy support, and we're breaking up that PR. Actually, Desmond is doing most of the work. Thank you so much. We're breaking it up. So the first step will be extracting the pundit client, and then adding the new one. Generate resources from model attributes. This is something that a few people requested actually. So whenever you say like Rails generate model, we'll generate a resource for you, and we'll figure out the fields from that model. So the fields you passed in, and that will be a nice touch for you to get started even more. What else? Require only the needed Rails dependency. So we need some help here. So if anybody has any experience about requiring only some Rails dependency. So in our gem spec before, we where is it? Let's see. We require like Rails with everything, and that might not be, we don't really need everything. So we just want to require a few things. But yeah, if anybody has any experience with this, please come on this PR, because we'd love some help. We ran into a few snags. What else? Add daytime filter. So maybe Olex can help with this. So we'll have a filter that where you could set the date, or maybe a date range. So you'd have these records filtered by that date range. So that would be amazing to have. Resource cards. Again, this is on me. I just have to get on it. Otherwise, we have a few issues open. So we have a few like help wanted and a few Hacktoberfest issues. So if you're doing Hacktoberfest this month and you want to participate in getting that t-shirt or getting that tree planted for you, go ahead and check out the repo, because you'll have a few things that will definitely help. Next, what I'd like to talk about, like before, you know how each license is per year per application. So for one applications, we were not enforcing that, but we'll start enforcing the URL. So what I'd like for you to do is go inside the licenses, like go on avohq.io, go to the licenses page and edit this field right here. So you can add your app's URL, because we're going to start enforcing that in a few weeks. So if you don't have the right URL to add to your for your license, then the license might not work for you. So go ahead and do that, and just make sure that you're conforming to this license that you purchased, right? So you go here and edit the URL for the app, for the production environment that you're using it. Otherwise, we have started to think about what version 3 would look like. So nested fields would be, or maybe nested records, nested resources would be something that you'd like to have, like for the create and edit, for the create screen. So we're thinking about that. So if you have any ideas for version 3, things that might help you build like business apps better, please don't hesitate and send us your feedback, because we'd love to start working on our next iteration. Because Avo 1 was like, hey, would anybody be interested of this? Avo 2 was, okay, somebody's interested about this, so we want to see what features are you going to use. So we've validated that. So Avo 3 should be like really the powerhouse, like everything you need to build a business app very fast. So we're starting to think about how that looks like. So if you have any feedback, just send it our way, like on email or on Twitter or on Discord or whatever. Yeah. And if you're using Avo, like the community version or pro version, and you love it, go share it on Twitter. Even if you don't have like a lot of followers, or on Reddit or whatever community you're a part of, because that helps us a lot. It helps us in finding users and customers and making Avo better for everybody. So yeah, cool. Thank you for being here with me, and I hope you like this new release. And I'll see you in the next one.